I thought I was being great. I thought I had it all figured out. But my BRB music is now copyright. Oh, not sure what happened there. I guess I hit a hotkey for something that I didn't know existed, so that... Great start! So, we're here today because, quite frankly, I'm going to tell you the story of how Sword Art Online is the direct and only cause and reason why I'm a VTuber. And also why it's the thing that got me into anime. So first things first, what is SAO? So SAO, or Sword Art Online, is an anime that came out, God, ages ago. I mean, this thing has been completely and totally just blown out of, like, where we thought it was going to be. Oh, by the way, before I jump into it, say hello to Rick. Rick is the emotional support turtle. It is very hot today, and I called on Rick, and he said, hey, I got a fan. And I was like, cool. And he showed up, and I don't know how he's powering the fan, but we're not going to ask questions. I got a new hat. Oh, that's totally not Yago. But yeah, definitely got a, I have the merch, so I might as well wear it. I mean, I paid for it, you know. But anyway, you came here for Sword Art Online, right? Not for Yago or for Rick. Or if you came for either of them, that's okay. So, Sword Art Online was actually... I didn't know about anime beforehand. I had no idea what anime stood for. I heard it, like, as a buzzword, but it wasn't a thing. It was just like, oh, okay, it's anime. Well, one day, a friend of mine, by the name of Ghost, actually, was like, hey, you want to watch this? And I'm like, what? What is this? And I remember I hadn't really been exposed to anime because I didn't know what it was. I mean, I was confused because I was like, okay, this looks weird. Like, what's wrong with their faces? What's going on here, you know? Why do they look like cats? And I watched it, and I went, oh, this is pretty good. This is wonderful. So what ended up happening was that in a Skype call, was it? Yeah, it was Skype way back when. It was in a Skype call, and we started watching this, and I was like, oh, I have watched stuff like this before. And when I was really, really young, there were shows like Akira, and there were shows like Code Lyoko and stuff like that was online. And it was really interesting because, okay, Code Lyoko, if you've seen that anime, I think it was on Cartoon Network and a few other things, and I think it was on, was it? I don't know, I don't remember, it's been so long, but I remember watching that, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, you know, like the Xana storyline, and I don't remember anything besides Xana, and like, oh, it's kind of like, oh my god, they're getting, you know, transported into another world to fight demons and stuff, and then they come back to high school, and it's like, was this the start? And it's like, no, you know, stuff like that before, like, what was it, that, the great teacher, oh, what was his name? I haven't watched, like, the full anime, but I've watched so many clips of it, and it's so good. But anyway, on a fresh day sometime in the past, I don't remember, I remember Ghost was like, hey, you want to watch Sword Art Online? And I'm like, what? What the hell is this? So I had a bite, and I was like, Then I had another bite, which is another episode, and I went, And then before I knew it, we finished the episode. or sorry, the season. And I was like, whoa. And at this time, the only thing that was out was the first 3 seasons. So the first season has to do with Aincrad, which is that massive thing in the background of the poster. The second season has to do with Gun Gale Online, which, by the way, these aren't spoilers. These are just the names of the seasons. And then the third had to do with something, I don't remember what it's called, but it's something a la Aincrad, but without the original premise of the first season. So I'm not going to spoil any of the story for the most part, but I think that if you want a really nice kind of dip your toes into the water for anime, I think Sword Art Online is a really good place to go, especially considering the fact that this anime has been out for so long, and it has been responsible for converting so many people into what essentially is anime fans. Because I'll be honest with you, right? Like, Sword Art Online originally was a very, well, I wouldn't say niche, but it wasn't exactly well known. It was something that was like, it was on Crunchyroll, so it was still, you know, decent. But wait, was it on Crunchyroll? I don't know. Like I said, I mean, we may have even watched it on a less than legal site, but I don't do that anymore because I can thankfully afford Crunchyroll and High Dive. Which, by the way, if you're curious on where you can find any of the titles that I bring up today, it's going to be on Crunchyroll or High Dive, and I'll let you know where you can find both of them individually, so that if you're like, well, do I need, you know, an Aincrad, hollow? Whoa, Freudian slips there, huh? Do I need a High Dive or do I need a Crunchyroll account? And I can let you know. So I'm going to enlist the help of my friend here. I haven't named him, but I just found him. And this is my swordfish. And this little guy right here is named Kirito. Like Dorito. No, I'm kidding. His name is Kirito, if you want to be extremely specific. And then this person over here is, oh my god. Asuna, there we go. Whew, that would have been bad. So, Kirito and Asuna, they basically find themselves in this really interesting fantasy realm that they find out that there's a critical element that no one really knew about, and now everyone needs to band together in order to reach the common goal. And upon completion of the common goal, they can escape from the fate they found themselves in. So, we're gonna... Mr. Swordfish? Ah, he has instant transmission, it's fine. So let me talk about the second season, which I think is also the main reason why I got into anime in oh, this is totally normal. Don't worry about me. I did a wet rehearsal and this happened, but I was like, oh, it'll be fine. So this is season 2. This is Gun Gale Online. So this is another person. Oh god, what's her name? I don't know. But basically, this is really cool because the second season takes on rather than a fantasy realm, it takes on a more realistic and more like, you've got a lightsaber here that can deflect bullets, which by the way is just cool. And then you've obviously got guns and stuff. And then for some reason, I don't know why Kirito is now a female character in this. I don't know. Don't ask me. Japan does things differently. But I think that if you're definitely looking for an intro anime to really like kind of dip your toes into everything, like I said before, you know, you get 3 different kinds of, you know, types of anime that you can kind of look at and experiment with. But I think the next one is actually the thing that cemented it for me, the thing that made me go, oh yeah, we're definitely going to sit here and we're going to watch anime for the rest of my life. And that was Angel Beats. Angel Beats is an anime that will hit you so hard because it's so good. It's so, how do I put this? One of the funniest clips I've ever watched in my entire life with anime has to do with this anime and a chair. And if you know, you know. But it is just beautiful. I'm just thinking about it. I can't play it, but just thinking about that dang scene is so good. But Angel Beats takes on a kind of a similar thing where you have a bunch of high school students that find themselves in a very interesting predicament, trying to get away from a very particular person by this person. And by the way, I don't remember the names because I'm horrible with names. And the last time I watched Angel Beats was like 10 years ago because I can't bring myself to go through it again because, oh my god, it hits you right in the heart. But this is definitely an anime that is very like tongue-in-cheek funny, that kind of experiments with some serious themes and some pretty like existential stuff, but at the end it kind of wraps it up with this beautiful bow that makes you go like, oh my god, because you don't really see it coming. You just kind of think, oh yeah, you know, this is kind of be I've called it essentially like a one and done anime where you just watch it once and you're kind of like, you know, you don't really remember it. It's just kind of like, you know, it's something to do, you know. And there's a lot of those animes out there, by the way. Like, you'll see it in the Crunchyroll reviews or in other places that They're like, oh yeah, this is definitely an anime you watch if like you just want to turn your brain off and like enjoy something, but you need to turn your brain off to do it. But this one definitely is not the case. This is definitely an anime where you can just sit there, you can enjoy it, you can have fun, and it really, really leaves a impression on you. Like, this was the first anime, and this was the second anime I watched after Sword Art Online with Ghost, and I was like, oh my god, because my impression with anime was that, oh, it's just, we're, Romeo and Juliet romance, which is crap, and then you have all this stuff, like, yeah, who kills themselves after they find their love? You know what I mean? Anyway, spoilers for Romeo and Juliet, but it's been out for about a few hundred years, so if you haven't caught up, sorry, but, like, cliche, stuff like that and whatever, and then, you watch Angel Beats and you're like, oh, this is a serious medium, this isn't just a joke. But I think what I love the most about Angel Beats, for sure, is that it's such an unexpected gem. And because it's so old, not a lot of people hear about it or know about it. And yeah, just like Sword Art Online, or at least the very beginning ones, they're very kind of rustic because that was the animation of the time, right? We don't have, Mappa Studios going around and doing things and kind of raising the bar even higher. But one thing that I think is important to note is that even though you can see the age on the animes, they're definitely worth your time and effort, because I will tell you, any of the animes that I put up here, there may be one or two that are kind of like, but I'll let you know, they're all pretty much worth your time. You won't be disappointed. You may be finding it a little bit, tongue-in-cheek too much, or it may not be your, cut of piece, your piece of cake. There we go. But either way, I think it's definitely worth your time. And Angel Beats is for sure one of the most emotional roller coasters that I've been on. And this segues me into a different one, right? So we all hear about, Naruto, and we all hear about Dragon Ball Z and all. Ooh. But this is, in my opinion, probably one of the pinnacles of really storytelling. Bleach has like 500 something episodes. Just the base one before they finished it up. Now they have what is it called? They have the Blood War, I think it's called. But I'm waiting for it to finish because I can't for Bleach I can't wait like I did before. Now I will say for Bleach there is a lot of filler, but don't be afraid. There's if you really want to get the full experience, watch the filler. But there are guides that are available that let you know what's in the filler, what's not. But in my opinion, actually watching the filler is helpful because there's some important story points that happen that it hits harder than it would otherwise because you know the filler. So I definitely recommend it. But I absolutely love the cast of characters here. You got Inoue, basically one of the original waifus for everyone in like the mid 2010s. You got Ichigo Kurosaki, our boy. You've got see, I told you my name. I'm horrible with names. But the thing is that if I were watching the show, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's him. I'm weird. I don't know why. I can remember names of places pretty easily, but names of people, I'm just an idiot. I don't know why. I don't get it, and I can't figure it out. But oh, hold on. Need my swordfish. This is Inoue. This is Ichigo. I hate this guy, but I love him at the same time. And there we go. But for Bleach, the way I would describe it is that Ichigo is what's known as a substitute Shinigami. So a Shinigami in English means like a death god. So these are people who kind of guide people who have died to the other realm. But there are people known as like hollows that don't pass on and essentially inherit hell and a few other places that have the ability to interact and cross over from the other realm into the human realm. Which obviously you can see how that goes. They can end up killing humans. They can end up doing all these problems. So you have this thing known as a soul society that's in place to protect everyone against, the hollows. Well, through a series of interesting events, we find out that Ichigo has a lot of interesting history with soul society because of what they want to do. And the main plot point at the very beginning is that he's going to rescue someone that took care of him. And I know I'm dodging around some of the plot points here and so on and so forth. But like I said, I want this to be no spoilers, right? And if you want to know something very specific about the anime, you can obviously look that up yourself at your own risk. But in my opinion, I definitely think that if you want a longer show to invest time into, this is it. Right, 500 episodes in just the original anime, and of course the manga's there as well, which is the written version that it's based off of. But I think the most important part about Bleach is that there are a lot of other series like Bleach, like Dragon Ball Z, but that's well known. or other series like Naruto, or other series like One Piece. But in my opinion, I think One Piece is trash. So that's just me. But the other thing that I think is really interesting is that Bleach kind of spawned my, like my discipline and capability to watch long form anime. Because one thing that people take for granted, especially like newer anime viewers, is that like 12 episodes is a lot. Like, yes, 30 minutes times 12, 12 times 12, 24, like 360 minutes is a lot of time, right? That's like what, 4 or 5 something hours? No one really, like, you have to build that tolerance and that discipline to watch stuff over and over and over. Or you can become like me and watch like literally 12 hours of anime a day in like 3 days because I really wanted to just binge watch it. It's how it goes. It comes with the territory. But Bleach is definitely the first one I would recommend kind of taking at your own pace and just kind of going. But as you you will know within the first few episodes, like with all of these animes, whether you really will enjoy it or not. Because the thing that carries it through, the themes that keep you in, the characters and so on, they are pretty much self-evident at the beginning. You're not going to waste your own time, right? So the next on our chopping block for introduction is going to be one that is near and dear to my heart. So this is Attack on Titan, also known as Shingeki no Kyojin. I have to say that I am extremely biased because I think that the anime is almost perfect. And what I mean by that is if you only watch the first season, you will get hooked. I guarantee it. I really do. And if you stick around for the later seasons, you're going to be absolutely, like, floored. But I do have to caution you, okay? When you're watching this anime, there are going to become things that become very clear to you. Like, okay, there's really only 1 or 2 ways this can go down. Isayama, the manga's author, and the animation that it's based off of, actually redrew the ending of Attack on Titan, I believe, 2 times. He released the ending to the manga once, and everyone was pissed off. Then he did it a second time for the animation, and everyone kind of went, really? So, it isn't a disappointment. Rather, it is something that it's in line with the universe, but it's really hard to take in. Especially for someone who's been following it since it came out in like 2011. So 10 years of watching this show. But if this is your first rodeo, oh man, you're going to love it. And the reason why is because I think that Attack on Titan is one of the defining genres of a series. And even if you don't like anime, you've probably heard of Attack on Titan. Whether through cringe compilations or your friends liking it or being a point of topic somewhere else. It's based around an individual named Eren Yeager that basically grows up in a world that is essentially in the medieval era that travels around on something called the OEM or something like that. Anyway, they're mobile gear that literally shoots out like metal rods with the thing at the end that lets them swing around. I mean, you've seen it. Come on. You can't be living under a rock. You've had to at least seen that part. And there's a wonderful cast of characters, and the story really pulls you in at the beginning. And it's very much so a story that even years after you finish it, you still think about because of how wonderful the characters are, how beautiful the universe is. And I have to say as well, this is one of the most darkest animes that you'll watch. If you are weak-stomached, or if you don't really want to see viscera, which is human stuff coming out of the body that's not supposed to come out of their body, just a content warning there. But I do have to say, my best example, if you're watching this is how Attack on Titan feels. So the first half here, let me bring back my friend Marlon. Oh, wrong one. The beginning of the seasons, right? So the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I forgot what the letter for the last season was, because there's like, okay, don't ask me. There's like a part 1, part 2 for the final ending. I don't know. Okay, it's a meme. Legitimately, that's how weird it is. But anyway, the last season, right? The very last few episodes is this. And the reason why a lot of people, including myself, believe this is because Isayama really wrangled with how he wanted to end it. And I understand why he ended it the way he did. I get it. Do I think it was the one he should have chosen? No. Was it the one that the fans wanted? No. Do we forgive him? No. Okay, thank you, Mr. Marlin. But, oh god, I'm losing everything. But the next one, we're jumping to a nice and simple one. The first few have been pretty heavy, but these are animes that are just really enjoyable to watch. This one is Handyman Saito in Another World, and this is a Japanese salaryman who is a handyman, quite literally, Handyman Saito, and he essentially ends up dying and getting isekai'd into another world. So if you're unfamiliar with that terminology, isekai essentially means another world in Japanese. So you may be familiar with like Truck-kun or whatever. Well, he gets killed by Truck-kun, if I'm not mistaken, and he gets reincarnated into another world, but with his memories from his past life. And essentially the whole gist of the story is showing that a handyman in another world is extremely helpful. What if you can pick locks and you're in a dungeon? That's pretty important, especially if there's a tome in there. Or, for example, if you need to mend clothing, right? That's something that tailors normally only know, but he knows it too. So it goes to show that, in my opinion, it's a really beautiful way of showing professions that we normally take for granted, like plumbers or handymen or so on and so forth. They really do provide a valuable service. And when you put them in a situation like this, where, you know, the common enjoyments that we normally have aren't there, we start to really understand and know how to appreciate it. You know, you don't really appreciate something until it's gone, because you don't really know what it's like to live without it, right? And this is a pretty short one. This one is only, I believe, 13 or 14 episodes. And to be honest with you, this is definitely a watch if you want something just enjoyable, just to kind of sit down, relax, and you don't have to turn your brain off. It's very well written. There's a lot of funny moments, and there's a lot of good character writing and everything like that. So I definitely recommend you take the time to just watch this for sure. Just like all the other ones, the only ones that are pretty long are Bleach, Sword Art Online, because they've decided to pump out hundreds of them now, Attack on Titan, which has a few episodes, I'd say the least, and a few others that I'll make sure to clarify in the future. But I think that definitely Handyman Saito is one of the ones that I sit there and kind of think, you know, how many other professions do we take for granted? Whether easy or hard, completely irrelevant of the difficulty, just what professions do we have that we know of that we don't really give the praise and credit that we should? That's kind of the message that I got from this. And to be honest with you, it really does help you, because it isn't just like a thing that you watch for enjoyment, right? Anime is much more than that. It's not just a funny hee hee ha ha. It has a lot of themes about real life and how it relates to things and how it can give you wisdom that you otherwise wouldn't really get access to. And speaking of of wisdom, is Farming in Another World. This is probably one of my favorite random slice of life animes that I've come out with. Now, everything beforehand has been found on Crunchyroll. This one has been found on High Dive. So, this one is just a short 12-episode thing where a guy, random dude, gets isekai'd into another world, and he gets an overpowered weapon that allows him to basically make whatever he wants that he can think of. And it has basically this insane buff that allows him to grow whatever he wants just by saying tomato, and then he hoes the ground, and the tomato sprouts in like a day or two. Well, through interesting causes of events, he ends up getting married, and he ends up building essentially a harem. It's very tame as compared to the the manga, but it definitely is something that makes you, like, your heart feel good, because you're like, oh man, that would be nice, wouldn't it? And it's just something so good. And I definitely would watch this too. Just like Handyman Saito, it's something like, man, you know, how nice it is to live a simple life as compared to the crazy ones that most of us normally live today. And I just really, I watch it from time to time, and I'm like, oh, this is just so good. Speaking of another one, if you're not really interested in the high school dynamic and like the middle school dynamic and stuff, this one is definitely, oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. This one is definitely worth your time to kind of get something that's on a more mature level. Because like I said, most of the animes you'll find in the world are going to be centered around the high school, the, what do they call it? The shonen, the young man dynamic, where, you know, they're in high school to maximize the reach that it can get. But this one is more centered towards, these are just two office workers that are doing their thing, and it's a romance story that, in my opinion, is more catered towards women. But this is definitely something that's enjoyable from like a heartwarming perspective. Invisalign, thank you. And what I mean by that is that it worms your way in. Worms your way into your heart, because it kind of makes you think about how nice it is to enjoy the chase. Like when you're in a relationship, you know, you've quote unquote got the prize and now you got to maintain it. But there's also a lot to be said about the process to actually, you know, winning, so to speak. Right. And there really is a lot of beauty in this story when it goes into kind of how do you know that the other person likes you? How, you know, how does other people affecting you help push you further or pull you away? And there's just a lot of heartstring pulling that's in a good way, not a bad way. a good way to help you to kind of see like, hey, you know, I should appreciate every part of life. And the ending, in my opinion, isn't going to be what most men want in terms of like what they expect to see. But after you finish the anime and you sit on it for a little bit, you'll be like, yeah, that was definitely worth my time. And that's how I feel about it too. This one could be found on Crunchyroll too. The next one is, in my opinion, probably one of the weirdest, but also one of the funniest, is I'm Quitting Heroing. So the premise of this anime is Leo, the guy in the center there, is a yeah, I'm trying to do my best to wheel around it. So essentially, he's a hero who has been fighting against demonkind forever. I mean, he's just that guy, right? He's the hero, and he got tired of it. And he realized that he was being taken advantage of, and no one cared about him. He was underappreciated, all that stuff. And what ended up happening was he was like, you know what? I'm gonna try joining the demon side. And that's essentially the story of him trying to, through various means and methods, becoming friends and allies with the the demons to bring about, hopefully, a peace. And in my opinion, this one is a short one. This one is like, I believe 12 or, actually, is it 13? I don't know, something like that. And I believe this one was on High Dive, if I'm not mistaken. Either High Dive or Crunchyroll. But keep in mind, you can always fact check this later. Not me, you. But I definitely enjoyed this because it was an anime that the premise was different. You know, it's very hard to write a good enemies to friends dynamic because normally it has to be a very serious tone for it to be believable. But in my opinion, they do it really well. And they do it in a way that makes you enjoy the pace, and it's not too fast, it's not too slow, and it's just enough. But next is going to be something that I think is just super funny. I don't think this is like monumentally good writing. I don't think this is like incredible storytelling, but I do find it so good because it's just so it takes the meme of, oh, you're trying to do that? Well, I'm not going to let you because I have some weird thing that no one has ever heard about. So Anos, the guy in the center here. Oh, I keep clicking on the wrong. There we go. That one. Anos here is, pointing with the swordfish. Anos here is gotta say that too many times, you'll say something else. But he's basically the Demon King, right? And he gets reincarnated into a time where there is a weird segregation between, like, the pure blood demons and the half-blood demons and humans and so on and so forth. And demon kind have essentially won out in the war between humans and demon kind, and they've kind of separated into two different spheres of the world. And essentially the Demon King is reincarnated and he's trying to make a name for himself. And it's just such a funny story because if you watch the first few episodes, you'll understand exactly what I mean when I say that this is a guy who is just the most overpowered SOB in the world. No one comes close. And this is definitely up on my top 30 at least of just fun animes to watch. And it's definitely worth your time too. God. But now we're going to start transitioning into the more serious animes that are more just, in my opinion, really heavier. Now, Attack on Titan and Angel Beats and Bleach are heavy, but the Jujutsu Kaisen, or if you want to convert it into English, Sorcery Battle, is I can't believe that's a direct translation, but Sorcery Battle. By the way, I'm a sub watcher only. I think that animation from Japan should be watched in the language it was intended to be listened to. Sue me. And I bet the Japanese feel the same way about King of the Hill, sub versus dub. I mean, you gotta hear him talking, hello, you gotta get the experience. But anyway, Sorcery Battle, right? Sorcery Battle is, Jujutsu Kaisen, is an anime that I really enjoyed that I didn't think I would. And the reason why is because there's this guy in here named Gojo Satoru, who's essentially the most overpowered dude in the world. And let me just tell you, there's so much that happens between him, Itadori, which is the main character in this anime, Itadori Yuji, and then, of course, you have... the story and the lore. It's an anime that's based around a little guy by the name of Itadori Yuji eating a very special finger that has what's known as sakana. Basically one of the most dangerous dudes to have ever existed in the world. And essentially Yuji being able to eat the finger and not die is very rare and very important. And because of that, Gojo Satoru essentially hijacks him and enrolls him into the Sorcerer Academy. And from there, they have a lot of very interesting battles. And in my opinion, this was, I believe, animated by Mappa. So the animation is out of this world. I mean, it is just so good. The sound design is impeccable. The video, the animation is incredible. The writing is so well thought out. And definitely, it's a thinker. This is something that will make you go like, whoa, this is so good, and make you want more. And so this is Sakana, if you want to know who he looks like. I was looking for a screen cap for Jujutsu Kaisen, and I just typed in JJK. And the first thing that came up was a Malevolent Kitchen, and God, I love this anime so much. But moving on, the next one that I definitely think is worth your time is Hell's Paradise, because oh my God. One of the things about Hell's Paradise is that it was something that completely knocked me off my ass, because I didn't expect to find this. It was just something that I randomly saw on Crunchyroll, just like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, oh, I'll watch it. And then, like, within the first 2 episodes, I'm like, whoa, because the story makes you go like, hey, what's going on? The characters don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. This is insane. Whoa. And I really recommend you to watch the first episode, and with all these animes, I definitely recommend watch the first episode. If you don't like it, come back later. That's the best part about anime. It's always there for you. And Hell's Paradise explores basically the adventure of White Hair Man in the front, which I have now forgotten his name, because it has been, I will admit, it has been a while since I watched Hell's Paradise. And the reason why is because they finished the first season, and I believe they have funding for the second, but I kind of caught it late, and I was able to binge it in like a day or two. So I didn't really get the long-term, like, oh, waiting every single week for the anime and kind of letting it sit in my head and so on and so forth. But I will say, for sure, that in terms of, like, quality and in terms of just writing and animation, I mean, this is up there, too. I mean, I've been saying this a lot for all of them, but like I said, I'm trying not to spoil anything. Because I fervently believe that all these shows should be taken and experienced completely blind. I think that if you have an idea of what's going on, it'll help you make an informed decision. But ultimately, my purpose here today is to just expose you to it. And if it sparks your interest, it definitely will carry you through to do the research you need to figure out if this is worth your time. But the one thing I will say about Hell's Paradise is that the main character is an extremely accomplished ninja who is just like, Gabimaru is his name. It came back to me as I'm talking about him. But Gabimaru here is one of the most, like, dangerous Iwakawa, I believe? No. Iwakanaga? I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, and I have a poor memory. But he's one of the, like, the best ninjas in Japan at the time. And he gets recruited and hoodwinked with a bunch of other people at the behest of the emperor at the time, I believe, or the shogun, one of the two, to go to a foreign and strange land that has been a land where no one has ever returned from. And as you realize their adventures on the island, you'll start to understand exactly why that's the case. And that there is exactly why I love this anime so much. Next is something that I didn't expect I would enjoy, but something that really just hit me right in the heart. And this is called Mushoku Tensei. I believe I'm saying that poorly, but that's okay. But it's called The Jobless Reincarnation. You can find this on Crunchyroll, just like Hell's Paradise and others. And this is the story of Rudius, basically a 30-year-old it was a 30-year-old NEET who essentially died from probably natural causes. I don't know. It's never really fully explained, or I don't remember. And he gets isekai'd into a world where he has a mom and dad that takes care of him and loves him. And he grows up with his mentor, purple hair girl, or blue hair girl, which I don't remember. And then he also grows up alongside Eris here, and then also Sylphiette. And in my opinion, I like where is, boy, sorry. Here's Rudius. Here's Blue Girl that I don't know the name of. Here's Eris, and here's Sylphiette. And this is my favorite one. And if you watch the anime, you can figure out why. She's the best girl. Sorry. That is fact and opinion, but I'm going to take it as fact, so ha ha ha. But this story essentially goes on that he has a really nice childhood, and a lot of things happen that are very, like, dark in the sense of, like, this could really happen IRL, and it makes you really go like, oh man. and then a really big event happens that essentially sends everyone important in the anime to a different side of the continent. And the entire anime is bent around a massive quest to reconnect with everyone and trying to become better and ultimately survive in this world that has so many incredible things going on. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the most best made, in terms of writing, best made fantasy isekais, in my opinion. Now, there was an arc regarding a particular member of his body that I was kind of like, really? That's what we're going to talk about this whole season? But at the same time, it makes sense. It's something that just, it confuses you, because you're like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, he's really, like, what? And then you kind of figure out, like, how it ends, and you're like, oh, wow. What a weird and kind of, like, haphazard premise to pursue, but then it's like, whoa. Because then you see how it all links together, and it's like, wow, this is good writing. And this is available on Crunchyroll, definitely worth your time. And of course, you can procure all of these animes through other means, but if you want to support the studios, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you can support the studios by buying Crunchyroll. I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to represent anything. I don't know for sure. But yeah, if you want to support your creator directly, you can find avenues to do so. But if you want to just watch it, it's on Crunchyroll. Let's see. And then the next one that really... This one is the more... man. This is probably the heaviest hitting anime I've ever watched in a pretty long time. And the reason why is because this is an anime that hits you really hard. So... Do you know who this person is? So Ram, Subaru, not the car, the person. And, let's see here. I forgot her name. I don't know. I forget things. Hey, if I don't need it, I junk it, okay? And I only have so much storage on my filing cabinets, all right? And trust me, it takes me a long time to pull out the filing cabinet, find the thing that I've tabbed, and then pull it out, okay? So forgive me, okay? But anyway, Subaru gets isekai'd into another realm, and he goes through what I can only describe as hell. He has something known as a return by death. So what that means is that every time he dies, he goes back to a quote-unquote checkpoint. And this checkpoint essentially forces him to navigate the same situation over and over, infinitely, until he can find an amicable way to solve it. And you'll find that, especially for Subaru, he won't be able to do it perfectly. And because of that, you have this weird dynamic where Subaru can't talk about it, because that's part of the conditions. So he has to not only navigate the entire labyrinth of what is returning by death, but he also has to do it in a manner that he doesn't end up, quite literally, if he talks about it, he dies. And it just restarts. And keep in mind, when he restarts, he doesn't lose his memory. So every single horrible and horrific thing that has ever happened to him, it's fresh in his mind. And you start seeing this beautiful story come out of it, and you also see this incredible dynamic where it starts to really affect him. It starts to change his choices, it starts to change his approach, and you start seeing how all the other people that are involved in the story react to him doing this. And there are a lot of existential questions that you kind of get answered and kind of get offered to you that make you go, holy crap, this is his everyday. So if you want a heavy-hitting anime, this is definitely it. But we're kind of getting close to the end here. I got 2 more animes left, and then I'm going to have a little announcement, quote-unquote. But yeah, Re:Zero is top 10, top 20 animes of all time for me. And all the animes that I've shown you, if they're the more serious type, they are something that I remember a lot of. Now, obviously, I'm horrible with names, so, sue me. But the next one I'm showing you is something that was one of the first animes that I watched completely by myself that I thought was just absolutely hilarious. And, I have 3 more. What am I talking about? So this one is called Eminence in Shadow. You can find this in High Dive exclusively, I believe. So this is called Eminence in Shadow. I don't remember what it's called in Japanese, but essentially it takes the story of a gentleman by the name of Sid Kagano, featured here, who we figure out to be revealed as Shadow, a leader of a secret organization destined to destroy, essentially, what do they call it? Oh, I don't remember. Like, basically the devil kind or whatever. But essentially, the whole story, Sid Kagano, also known as Shadow, is completely making it up. He dies, gets isekai'd into another world, and he's like, oh yeah, we need to go and defeat these bad guys. They're awful. Oh my god. and he makes all this up, but in the world it happens to be true. Or, you know, we don't know yet, but we know for a fact that it's just bonkers. For example, right, he will just like do something stupid and he'll like forget about it, and then all of his like underlings, so they go by like phonetics, like, you know, there's alpha, there's delta, there's beta, you know, etc. And they're like, oh my god, oh, the wisdom of the shadows, Shadow-sama, oh my god, he's the wisest guy in the world, oh my god. And Shadow's just like, yeah, I just wanted to dig up something because I thought it was cool. And then everyone's like, oh, he's a genius. He is like, oh, he's so smart. And it's just so stupid. And it's so funny because you look at it, right? And his Sid Kagano versus Shadow, the characters are different. They're the same person, but, you know, he plays it differently based upon what outfit he's wearing, right? And it's just so funny to watch him go from, oh, hey, I'm just a dorky dude trying to make my way through life to, you know, I am Shadow. But I gotta say, there's an episode, or there's a scene in the final episode of Eminence of Shadow in the first season that there's a fight between Shadow and what's her name? I don't know. The chick with the big sword. You'll know when you get there, and you'll realize, you know, it's a scene where he kind of blinks, and if you know, you know. And I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. I was like, that is so cool. And it's easily up there for story because it isn't just a good story. It's just funny. It's good television. And to be honest with you, like I said, it's up there in my top 10, top 20. All these animes essentially are. Because they're just so good. And they're definitely worth all your time. But I think I've said that like 9 million times. But one thing that I'm going to take a little bit of extra time on probably talking about is my favorite anime of all time. Well, formerly. Code Geass. My favorite anime of all time is Code Geass. This was the third anime that I watched. So in terms of succession, it was Sword Art Online, then it was Angel Beats, then it was Code Geass. Code Geass has 24 episodes, but it is one of the most well-written, well-maintained, and just incredible stories I've ever had the privilege of enjoying. And the reason why is there's a gentleman by the name of Zero who leads a rebellion against the world government that is essentially the Britannian Empire, right? And you have Karen, or Colin in Japanese, assisting Zero against Suzaku Kururugi and a bunch of other royals that I won't spoil. And he's in an academy with a bunch of other people. Oh god, I don't want to spoil any. I don't even want to talk about it. That's how good this anime is. But essentially, this is an anime that is based around kind of like a mech anime, where you have, you know, two generals going at it, like the Chinese stories. Like, you have two Chinese generals going at it, but instead of 12 billion people dying and 4 million people being, you know, imprisoned, you have like billions of mechs and so on, and it's incredibly animated. And this was an anime that came out like 20 years ago or something like that. Just incredibly done. And what ended up happening is, I remember watching this, and I was like, I am never going to stop watching anime. It's that good. And this is my number 2. And the reason it's my number 2 is because a recent anime has come up and completely swapped me off my feet. But the reason that this was number 1 for so long, and is going to probably forever remain as my number 2 for so long, is because the writing in it is so well connected, and the way that they wrote the anime, okay, the storyline. If you watch Code Geass and then you watch Attack on Titan, you will realize that Isayama, the writer of Attack on Titan, wanted to do as close as he could to a Code Geass ending. Okay, if you watch Code Geass, then you watch Attack on Titan fully through, you're like, wait a second, he just stole it from Code Geass. Why? Because it's that good. But in my opinion, no one has ever done a Code Geass writing or a story anywhere near as good. And there is just so much that is built into those little 24 episodes. And there is not a dull moment, not a single second of filler. And it is a beautiful story that is not only worth your time, but it's worth your effort to get through. And I just absolutely love it. I believe it's available on Crunchyroll. So all these you can start right now. You can turn off my stream, or you can let me go as like a podcast, and you can look at them and see, hey, is this something worth my time? And I believe Crunchyroll is only like $5, I hope. I hope it's still $5 or something like that. But yeah, I just love Code Geass. And like I said, there's no spoilers, so I can't talk about like story elements that I really, really love. But what I can tell you is that if you ignore all of my requests, just listen to this one and the next one. Okay? That's all I'm asking. And the last one is this. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. Frieren. Frieren is my all-time favorite anime. And the reason why is very simple. You have this smug elf by the name of Frieren running along with Stark and running along with, oh god, who's purple hair girl? Oh no! See, I literally watched the freaking Friday episode, and today is it Monday? Oh god, what is today? Okay, today is Monday. Oh, oh, that would have been bad. But I literally watched the Friday episode of Frieren. I remember Frieren. I remember Stark. I don't remember her name. I don't know if I have short-term memory loss or if I'm just this stupid. I think it's the latter. But anyway, Stark. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember through the memes. Like, like she's mad at Steak. Oh, what's her name? You know what? I'm going to Google it. Purple hair girl Frieren. Sorry for the keyboard ASMR. Fern! Golly. So Fern and Stark, just the dynamic between these two characters is something, in my opinion, that is so beautifully done. It's an intertwining of two people that will probably be forever, like, entangled for the rest of their lives, in a good way, not a bad way. And following their master, essentially, Frieren, a ageless elf that's just exploring. And essentially her quest is to go to the end of the world, and you can figure out what that means, because that's as cryptic as you may expect. And the story has such a beautiful way with melding animation, story, and environments. This is one of the most beautifully animated animes I've ever watched. The cover page that you see here is just kind of a gist of what to expect. It's nowhere near as good as the actual anime, and in my opinion, I definitely think that if you're going to try any of the animes and you ignore all my other recommendations, I believe Frieren is on Crunchyroll. Watch Frieren. If you're of the older generation, if you're not like 12, right? This will definitely hit you in a lot of soft spots because it really does start to talk about existential topics like, what does it mean to have a fulfilling life? What does it mean to live a life? What happens when we change the perspective of only 100 years to thousands of years of life? And other such cases like that. And it's such a philosophically satisfying movie animation that it really makes you appreciate all the things. And one of the greatest concepts and dynamics that, or not concepts, but dynamics that appear in this is, you know, it makes a lot of fun at stuff that happens in real life all the time, but shown through such a beautiful and not safe manner, but in a manner that makes you laugh instead of like going like, oh god, he messed up. And let me give you an idea. So Frieren on the front there, very deadpan expression, and this is normally how she is. She's just an elf that she loves life, right? But this is also Frieren. Frieren, our beloved. Smug Frieren. Now, hopefully I don't get copyright struck or TOS or anything, but she's wearing full clothes, but I won't tell you what that potion is, but let me tell you. Look at that face. Look at that smile. Look at that smug elf. And that's why I love Frieren so much. It's something that makes me go, this is an incredible anime. I love the characters, and it fills my heart, and it puts me at ease in a weird way because it I don't know. It's like, all right, everything's gonna be okay. You know, just one of those weird feelings. But wow, I thought that I would take a lot less time, but it's been 49 minutes, which is incredible. I was really worried that I was going to go too fast on this, but I think for roughly about 14, 15 animes talking about it, I think I did an okay job. So the final thing is my quote-unquote announcement, but more so it's just a self-announcement to myself as a goal. So let me see here. So on Twitch, there's this thing called becoming an affiliate, right? So you may be like, oh, well, what does it mean to become a Twitch affiliate? Well, you need to have 50 followers. You need to stream for 8 days. You need to stream on 7 different days, and you need to reach an average of 3 viewers. Now, don't worry. I can do most of this myself, okay? But I'm not going to cheat any of the rules. If I'm going to earn affiliate, I want to do it legit. I don't want to cut any corners, right? I could open 3, Twitch browsers, and I could do all that, right? But 50 followers, I gotta do. So one thing that I used to do is whenever I would watch Twitch streams, I would watch the stream and I would gauge like a few mechanics. Like, do I like their voice? Do I think their audio is decent? And then are they saying something interesting? And they got about like 30 seconds for me to like care. And if they don't, then I click off. Okay, and this is everyone, okay? This is not shade to anyone. This is just how human interest works, right? So like for me, right? You may not like my voice. You may think my audio is crap. You may think I'm not interesting. That's okay. That's how you feel. It came default with your settings, okay? Don't change that. That's how you do things, right? But for me, I just want to reach 50 followers 50 followers and reach an average of 3 viewers for one reason. Now, I can do 8 hours. I can do that easily. And 7 different days. I stream every day at 7 p.m. Okay. You know, I got that. But the reason why I want to do it is for, like, singularly one reason. Okay? And it's this one. Ooh. Don't want to crush Rick. But why should you be an affiliate? Right? The main thing for me is going to be... Oh, I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing that? Is I don't care about the subscriptions or the ad revenue or the hype chat or anything like that. The bits... that's a monetization feature. I'm not in this for the money. I'm doing this for fun. If I can monetize, cool. Which is why that's there. But ultimately, I'm doing this for myself and because I want to make friends and have fun. That's all. I'm a simple guy. Video tools, I don't really care about that. Maybe substreams, but like that's so down the line. We can see. Now, this is nice because I can be more lazy, but it's not a necessary thing. But the real thing I want, is channel points. So that people can interact with the stream completely free of charge without having to spend a single dollar. So not only can you support me monetarily if you choose, but you can also support me and have fun with me by fucking with me. Like I said, the choke asset, I was thinking of like every time I say something stupid or I get on a tangent, it like pops up and like shop res, and I'll be like, okay. And then we'll move on. And then of course polls, right? Like, hey, like instead of having to link you like a poll to say like, hey, what do you want to do? I can just put it up in chat. Like, oh, do you want to play this game or that game? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Saves everything. And then instant emote upload, I don't really know what that is, but yeah. And then stories, I don't think anyone watches them. I don't watch them, so I'm not going to interact unless I need to. But yeah, the cheering with bits is going to be really cool because like 100 bits is like $1. So you don't need a lot of money to interact with the stream. So if you're strapped for cash but you still want to do it, like it doesn't break the bank, right? That's the best part. And obviously that's if you want to do the monetized route. The best route is obviously going to be through the channel points, which obviously like I'm not going to like put the best stuff up here. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, if I do that, there will be a very long and lengthy explanation as to why, but for the foreseeable future, okay, subject to any amenability, channel points and cheering with bits will be duplicative. They'll be the same, right? So what is my reason for bringing this up? One is that if you ever see a streamer that you enjoy and you really like and you want to support them, give them a follow. Right now, I don't know if there's any benefit after 50 followers, but in my opinion, I think that if you see a small streamer that, you know, let's say you're not even gonna chat, you're not even gonna come back, not even gonna talk to them, give them a follow. You don't check your emails anyway. I know I don't, or at least for like follow alerts and stuff. But you know what you just did for that small streamer? I still remember Alex. He was the first follower on this channel. That's the impact you can have on someone. And even if they don't make it big, or even if they don't, even if they stop the next day, it lives in their head, rent-free, and it's a positive thing. And it's free of cost to you. All you gotta do is hit the button. And if they got it set up, maybe you can just like hit the follow button, and it'll really like scare the hell out of the streamer. Because like if you're a zero view Andy like I am, right? That I have the monitor on, so I'll hear any stream alert. I won't just see it. And I mean, I don't think that my stream alert is bad or anything like that, but it is. Like, for example, my follow. Now, I don't know if Stream Elements works, because, yeah, but, like, for example, if you want to scare the hell out of me, that'll do it. Right? Imagine I'm just sitting here. I just slammed my finger. Oh, that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt. Oh, that doesn't hurt at all. Oh, okay. I came down and it flexed my finger back. We're okay. Everything is... Whew, I'm fine. Okay. Anyway. But the reason I want to be an affiliate, like I said, is so that I can have the channel points. Because I want to be able to have people to just sit here, have the stream open, or maybe even enjoy it instead of just being a podcast, and interacting with me more so than just chat, right? Because some people want to interact more than just typing stuff. And that's what I want to be able to do. But obviously, I need to be an affiliate to do this, which, you know, it's how it goes. But like I said, you have all the options that you want. You can support completely freely, make the stream better, or have some fun at the same time for free. Or you can, you know, drop $1. You know how you go into a dollar store and you get like, you have your quarters, or if you don't have a quarter, you get like change for it, and then you put it in the gumball machine, and for 25 cents you get a gumball. If you think that I'm as valuable as a gumball, you could give me a gumball. You could give the dum dum gum gum. Anyway, so yeah, those were definitely my my favorite animes of all time. Yeah, I want to say that I'm definitely grateful to Fauna for this, because I love this hat, man. It's so good. I haven't worn it outside yet because I'm waiting for the second one, because I plan on having like one hat like being in pristine condition forever, and then, you know, the second one I'll wear for daily stuff, and then just, you know, try to protect it best I can. But until then, it's gonna sit in the box nice and tidy. But I intend that the moment I get my second hat, I'm gonna put my cat in it, and I'll put it on my Twitter, and you know, just just show how cute my cat can look, and also the hat at the same time. Maybe I'll make him like a turtle cat. But yeah, what we'll do here is Rick has to go. He's been a very good boy. He has been keeping me nice and cool from all the stuff here, and I am beyond grateful for him. But it is time for him to go, and he's gonna swim away. It's okay. He's gonna swim away. And the reason that I had Rick there with the fan was because it's hot, and I have a fan blowing on me. And in testing, I didn't hear it come through my microphone, but I just wanted to have a reason for everyone to not go like, "Hey, why is there a fan going on?" It's like, it's hot. Give me, it's hot. Oh, also, my freaking VOD, my BRB music is copyright, which I didn't know. I mean, I thought that it qualified under free use, especially because I'm not making any money. But one of the things that I definitely want to do is, I don't have the money for it now, but the time and the money that when I do, there we go, that's a better way to say it. Like, I definitely want to buy the licenses and the subscriptions, because I hopefully will be able to not only support myself with really good music for the stream, but also be able to support the artists that take time and effort to make all of these beautiful works of arts, right? Like Shiba, for example, the one who made the background music for today. Let me see. Can I flip this? Can I flip? Transform, rotate 90 degrees. Okay, hold on. Wait. Oh no. Hold on. Transform, and then I did it twice, so 180? Yeah, there we go. Now we just need to do transform. Hey, there we go. So, in this case, Shiba here, he's the one who made the BGM for the stream. So the song that you've been listening to, hopefully without even knowing that it's there and just having nice little filler sound, is made by Shiba XLVIII, which I don't know what the number is in Roman numerals, but I found this by happenstance, and I love this song. And I hope that one day, like all the other songs that I have, I'll be able to get the proper licenses for, so that one, I can support the creators, but two, I can also do something pretty incredible, which is have a VOD that doesn't get copyright struck or anything like that. Because I'll obviously, like, I will upload this to my VODs channel, but the problem is that, like, it sucks because the VODs that have gotten muted, it's normally been muted around really pretty good moments, and it's just like, oh, come on, you know, like, that sucks. But, you know, that's okay. We take it a day at a time. I'm a brand new streamer. I have no credibility whatsoever. I'm just a guy on the internet, and I'm just pushing myself to do the best that I can and trying to not only do that, but maintain a standard of excellence that hopefully will be part of my reputation whenever that comes to fruition. I don't know what my reputation is going to be, but I hope that it's going to be good, because that's my goal. But I'm going to make some more tea because I've already drank all of it throughout this entire stream, and I don't want you all to hear me go. That's me talking to Rick. Rick says, thank you for coming by, and I hope that you'll drop me a follow because, believe it or not, it really helps. I don't know if it helps me pass affiliate, so if you see me have channel points, just, you don't need to follow, but, you know, help a homie out. You don't know me, I don't know you, but hey, if you can help me, maybe one day I'll be able to help you. So until then, I hope that you enjoyed this wonderful demonstration of animes that I love, and I hope that if you are an anime watcher, maybe you haven't seen one of these, and I hope that maybe you can check them out. Or if you haven't watched anime at all, weird that you're getting your first introduction to anime from a VTuber, you know what I mean? But either way, I just wanted to have a little bit of fun, and I'm really grateful that I was able to put this all together. I was feeling really tired before stream, but I got a lot of exhilaration and joy, and quite frankly, just excitement from, you know, grabbing pictures of animes that I really enjoy and animes that are kind of comforts for me, and having an opportunity to wear my hat that I bought, and just really hanging out. So I hope that... Actually, let me put one more point here. There are people that are watching my VODs, and I don't know if they're watching them through. I don't know if they're taking the time to jump through or whatever the case is, but whoever you are, thank you. Because I looked at my VODs and I was like, there's 19 viewers, there's 20 views, and I'm like, I don't even watch... Well, I watch the VOD. Every day I watch the VOD to see, like, what can I do better? What can I, you know, stop doing? What's, you know, is the audio good, etc. Just to make sure that, you know, because I don't have viewers yelling at me like, hey, moron, turn up your gain by 5 dB, or hey, moron, put on this. I got to be the guy that goes, hey, moron, to me to fix it. So, but whoever is watching the VOD, whether it's for a few seconds or for an hour, I'm very grateful. And I hope that, you know, sometime, whether it's through stream or through VOD or through Twitter or whatever, feel free. I have all my handles underneath my channel, so if you scroll down a little bit, you can see who made my beautiful model here by the name of Tsukino Hana. Tsukino Hana, don't want to say zucchini. And of course my Twitter page, and if you feel free, you can obviously donate at Ko-fi, or you can do it through Stream Elements. But ultimately, really, the thing that I want most of all is just follows. Because I want channel points. That's all. That's my MO. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for coming by the stream, and I'm really grateful. And as always, have a good one. I'll catch you tomorrow.